the heart of Piazza della Bocca della Verità, amidst the bustling traffic of a weekday Rome, I found myself captivated by the ancient primal Genius Loci of this place. Here, at the Forum Boarium, lies a pivotal site steeped in the earliest origins of Rome, where diverse people and cultures, Etruscans, Latins, Sabines, Phoenicians, Greeks, converged and exchanged along the banks of the Tiber. As the winter sun bathes the city in a gentle warmth, I'm drawn into a journey through the millennia, exploring the transformative tapestry of this sacred space over time. The ancient Forum Boarium is at the point where Via Appia and Via Aurelia arrive, from the two opposite banks of the Tiber. The Forum Boarium is a stop on the journey along the path of the Western hyperbole, formed by the Appian Way and the Aurelian Way. To comprehend the meaning of the Western hyperbole route, refer to the video The Ancient Rome, the Roman road system, particularly from the 12th minute onward. A pivotal location at the earliest origins of Rome, the Forum Boarium is a lesser known and visited site compared to its neighboring Roman and Imperial forums, but is no less significant in Rome's ancient history. The Forum Boarium served as the market area of the ancient city, situated at the point where the oldest ridge path of the Latina, Sabine and Etruscan worlds converged, originally crossing the river at the ford of the Tiber island. This point of convergence and exchange among different peoples is at the heart of Rome's foundation. For more on this topic, watch again the video The Ancient Rome, the Roman road system. Along the Tiber band, in this stretch, West Swamp extended to the feet of the Palatino and the Capitolino Hill before Rome foundation. Just a little farther downstream, the area beyond Santa Maria in Cosmedin was marshy due to the Velabro lake, where tradition recalls that the basket in which Romulus and Remus were abandoned had drifted from the river to the slopes of the Palatino. The lake was so large and deep, even in the 3rd century BC, that it was navigable by boats. We also already seen the adjacent Murcia valley, then Circus Maximus, when commercial exchanges took place from the most remote antiquity. See the video Incredible feat of hosting 260,000 spectators in ancient Rome. In this video, we will simply trace the transformations of this area from the origins of Rome to the present day, using maps, 3D reconstructions, views and photos of Rome from the 16th to the 20th century. The historical architectural landmarks still present in the area include the broken bridge over the Tiber, the Roman temples from the Republican era dedicated to Hercules and the god Portunus, the medieval house of the Crescenzi family, the church of Santa Maria in Cosmedin, the church of San Giorgio in Velabro, the arch dedicated to the Emperor Constantine, known as the Arch of Janus, the arch dedicated to the Emperor Septimius Severus, known as the Arch of the Argentari, Money Changers, and the church of Santa Anastasia near the Circus Maximus area. Further videos will follow in which we will analyze the historical architectural landmarks in detail. First, let's analyze the model created by architect Italo Gismondi in 1933, based on the archaeological evidence of the time. At the bottom we see the Emilian Bridge, the broken bridge, connecting the two banks of the Tiber River, and the area of the Forum Boarium, with the circular temple of Hercules Olivarius, the temple of the god Portunus, and in this area there is the portico of the Statio Annone, and another circular temple also dedicated to Hercules. This is the area that will later be occupied by the church of Santa Maria in Cosmedin. Here on the right we see the Arch of Janus. At the top in the center the structure of the great theatre of Marcellus, partly still existing. Now let's examine this more recent archaeological plan. We see the Emilian Bridge and also the Sublician Bridge, which is older, dating back to the regal era. And this is the area of the Forum Boarium, with the Temple of Hercules and the Temple of God Portunus still existing, the area of the Ara Maxima of Hercules and the portico of the Statio Annone, and another single temple still existing in the Renaissance period, but unfortunately demolished at that time. This area here is now occupied by the Church of Santa Maria in Cosmedin, and at the top the Arch of Janus, built in the 4th century AD by the sons of Costantino Emperor, and here on the side a part of the Circus Maximus. Let's analyze the beautiful view of Rome from 1593 by the engraver and painter Antonio Tempesta on the info.roma.it platform. This valuable view, for its quality and detail, allow us to observe several features of our location at the end of the 16th century along the Tiber River. This is the Tiber Island as it appeared then, with the two bridges connecting it to the two river banks. Let's start from here, from the Roman era Emilio Bridge, which at that time was called the Santa Maria Bridge. We see how in 1593 this bridge was still intact. It had been repeatedly damaged by the Tiber River floods in the past centuries and rebuilt each time. Just a few years later, in 1598, a disastrous flood destroyed 3 arches of the bridge, which were never rebuilt, henceforth earning it the name Ponte Rotto. Moving to the other side of the Tiber, we see the defensive wall foundations against the river floods dating back to the Roman period. We see the Temple of Hercules, at that time the Church of Santo Stefano. The ancient Via Salara, Salt Road, with Arch of Salara, captured in a precious photo by Ettore Rosler Franz before its demolition. The Church of Santa Maria in Cosmedin, also known as Santa Maria della Scuola Greca, whose name we will explain later. And the very interesting detail of the mask, the Mouth of Truth, which was later placed inside the portico, where it still stands today, when total facade reconstruction works were carried out. However, the facade we see here did not survive to the present day, as it was further modified in 1900 to give it a debatable, more or less medieval appearance. Next to the circular temple of Hercules is the temple of the god Portunus, transformed into the church of Santa Maria Egiziaca. Surrounded by a block of other buildings. Of all the houses and streets in this block, only this small building remains today, the famous medieval house, the residence of the Crescenzi family. The house of 11th century was built using fragments taken from the area of ancient Roman buildings. Moving further towards the Velabro area, we still see the remains of the Arch of Janus, with the remnants of superstructures that were built in the Middle Ages to transform it into a fortified building. The Church of San Giorgio al Velabro, of which we see the apse here, with its typical bell tower along the ancient Vicus Tuscus. The centrally planned Church of San Teodoro, which still exists today, and the Church of Santa Anastasia, which we discussed in the video dedicated to the cave of Romulus and Remus. The bell tower no longer exists, and over the centuries the church has been transformed. The facade is no longer what we see represented here. One particular characteristic is that the church is situated on a raised position compared to the then ground level, and is connected to the ground by a staircase. This is the area of the Circus Maximus, which at that time was unrecognizable. It was a cultivated area with gardens, and at its center was a ditch that was buried at this point to flow into the Cloaca Maxima, which empties into the Tiber nearby. The first part of this video ends here. In the following other views, all pictures, to illustrate the changes and persistence of this pivotal place for the genesis of Rome. Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe, like and comment.